What's the deal? What's the deal? It's your boy Norbs, and this is the 10-8 podcast, and we are live. And I am waiting for my co-host, my man, Jamel Herring, the legend, the man, the legend, the myth, the whatever you want to call it. You know what I mean? But yeah, we're in the building. We're in the building right now. I'm trying to figure this all out right now. Waiting for everybody to come on. So, just want to put that out there. For those that don't know, I've been hacked on my page. So I'm going to be sharing the link anyway because it's just playing on there. But I have been hacked. My people. My damn people have been hacked. It is what it is. But, we still going to get it. We still going to get it. I'm just going to keep going. But anyways, we are live right now waiting for my man Jamel Herring, everybody that's out there. Shout out to y'all. We got a special guest today, my man Bernard Hackett, and I think his son Jalil, 154-pound fighter, 154-pound fighter, will be in the building, who recently just called out my guy, from my homeland, Xander Zayas.
What the fuck you gonna do?
Big controversy. Xander has been looking for a fight, someone to come out and fight in Puerto Rico, and my man Jalil Hackett came on and said he's willing to make it happen. We're gonna have that and all that and some more topics that are going on right now in today's boxing world. Right after these. You know what? You made it when the legend Chevy Red. She doesn't even call me no more. But, the legend Chevy Red is on. You're special when the future of the future of ring announcing is in the building. The loveliest, I'm going to say it again, the loveliest, best looking ring announcer in the world is in the chat. So that's a good thing. Again, guys, if anybody hits you on my Street Star Nord, I can go live, but for some strange reason, somebody's DMing some weird shit. But, it is what it is. Chevy Red, what's up? She's in the building. I'm going to share it. For those that don't know, I didn't plan on doing this show because my account, but, all I could do is just continue to work. Waiting for my man Jamel Herring to come on. I don't know where the hell he's on. And there he is, the legend himself, Jamel Herring. What's good, brother?
What's up, brother?
Yo, so I got hacked. Check it out.
Didn't Christine say you got hacked yesterday? She said
got hacked. So this is what happened. I'm going to tell you what happened. So somebody had DM me. It was like a podcast. I'm like, hey, listen, we're trying to get people to vote for us. So I'm not even thinking nothing. Sure, I'll vote for you. So I go and I click the link. And when I click the link, I'm not even thinking anything. Nothing happened. So I was like, what the fuck's going on? Day later, that's when I get that text. And now I can't actually get into my account, but I am still streaming live from it. So, whatever. So people that are out there, please tune in. You know what I mean? And I appreciate y'all for doing that. Jamel Herring is in the building. I'm trying to get Jamel actually to start pinning the show when we do it, but he never does it. I don't know what I got to
pin it where?
So when you're on your Twitter, you go to your Twitter and you pin it and you share it, and multiple people share it, and that's how they know that's there because it's on the top.
Oh, I gotta figure. See, you put me in something. I'm like, yo.
So yeah, go to your page, right, and you pin it, and then people will know, like when they're on your page, that you're live.
What's over the top of my page anyway?
No, it's not. So you have something else pinned on the top of your page. It's from 2 days ago. Once you pin that, every time they go, they're gonna see that. But yeah, that's how it goes. But anyways,
hold on. This you just follow me? This you?
Yeah, that's my other page. That's
but I gotta make sure. You gotta make sure you like hackers and shit. You gotta make sure.
No. I hacked myself, bro. Whoever this guy is good, 'cause I can't even get like anything going, man. I'm like shit, dude. I'm waiting for them to to release my shit. So they're investigating it. Shout out to my uncle Turkey Alasik. I just tweeted him. We need Turkey on. But anyways, some things have been going on. We've seen Xander Zayas looking for an opponent, and the most outspoken people have been the Hackett family. Bernard and son Jalil have said, "Let's make this fight happen," and they wanted to go to Puerto Rico, and they said they're going to come on today to speak on it. You know, I'm just saying they're the only ones. They said that other fight that you were talking about that it fell through.
Oh yeah, I seen it. When he was talking to you back and forth with it.
Yeah. So that's happening. But yeah, once you pin that and you say, you share it, we're lit. But on that note, what else has been happening? What have we missed? Canelo Alvarez got elbow surgery. Apparently, he won't be back till like sometime in the summer next year. He needs a break. He needs to just go relax and find out his next two opponents and then retire. I mean, that's what I think. Did you hear about that?
No, I didn't hear about that.
Apparently he had elbow surgery.
Yeah, that I knew. I ain't know about the other. I thought he went to my retirement and all that messed up. I know about the surgery.
Yeah, no. The retirement, I said after the two fights he's done. I don't think he's going to come back after that. I think he's going to pretty much just, hang it up and call it a career. You know what I mean? But let's see what's some news before we get to the people. Good night, fellas. What's good? Sheldon's in the building.
What's going on, Sheldon?
Share, like, subscribe. Let me know what's up. But check this out. Recently, Manny Pacquiao and Rolly Romero have finalized, I think, actually, a deal to fight in Vegas. Manny is going for that 147th 7-pound belt versus Rolly Romero. I'm gonna let you start. I mean, what do you think about Rolly getting a big shot?
I'm cool with it. If they gave, listen, no disrespect to nobody. If they gave my man Mario Barrios a shot, even like it's crazy. It's funny that we saying giving a shot because even though they're the champions, but if Mario Barrios got a shot against a legend, I think Rolly can make it entertaining too. Rolly, listen, say what y'all want, but Rolly, in terms of building up a fight and just his personality alone, he can sell a fight. You know what I mean? And I'm not mad at it. Shout out to Rolly for you know what I'm saying? Because like I said, a lot of people doubted him, thought he wasn't gonna beat Ryan. Remember, they wasn't even pushing him when he was fighting Ryan. It was mainly Ryan and Devin rematch. Ryan and you know what I'm saying, doing the whole build, it was Ryan and Devin. So like,
well, think about it. Would you be surprised? We
Alicia,
watched.
He's still fighting because he's that man. He's that dude. Alicia, what you mean? Why he's still fighting?
Yeah, but I mean, aren't you surprised, dude? Fucking Pitbull annihilated Rolly. Like he beat the brakes off.
And he came back and he annihilated Ryan. Like I said, like what they said, you're only good as your last fight.
But I know I'm not taking no discredit to Rolly. I give him 100% credit. I say that because a lot of fighters, when they get beat, the way he got beat that night, it's very.
Also, he changed. Didn't he change trainers for the Rolly for the He changed trainers for the Ryan fight.
Yeah, he did.
Did he not? And he got his shit together.
Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, I'm excited for Rolly. I mean, I'm a big Rolly fan. I think Rolly's good for the sport. He's hilarious.
Don't mind me. I just finished sparring. I got hit. That's why he hit me. I was in the gym. I said, damn,
somebody said the money's an exhibition at his age. At least you know what? I'm gonna put this comment up. This is actually a really good comment. I'm gonna say why.
Nah, Alicia, it's really not. It depends who you are. It depends who you are and who you fighting in the exhibition. Because you see a lot of exhibitions, they gotta fight these guys as mainly influencers, whatever, for the exhibitions. But like, let's say like Manny Pacquiao goes the Turkey Alex Sheet route, and Turkey Alex Sheet's like, I'll pay. He's getting paid that money that you speak on. So like, and again, he didn't like. A lot of people thought he won the last fight. Let's be real. A lot of people thought he won the last fight. So
yeah, it's Mario. Yeah,
Alicia. A lot of people thought he won that last fight, and that's what people really. I guarantee him going into the Rolly fight. I guarantee he'll be the favorite. Let's be real. He's going to be the favorite.
I believe so.
Like I said, it's crazy. Shout out to his wife Jinky, Manny Pacquiao. She's the one who actually chose Mario Barrios. That's crazy. The man The man had a Hall of Fame ceremony the weekend prior, and then went into the damn championship fight. That's an OG.
I say this, Manny is a competitor still. Like, he doesn't care about losing. He doesn't care about taking a loss. He just cares about competing at the highest levels, right? And you know, it's not a knock on the other guys that we see doing it, the Tanks, Floyd and stuff like that. Tank, I mean, Manny still wants to be a champion. He still represents what's good in boxing in regards to competitiveness and wanting to be great and leaving a legacy behind. So you really gotta pick your hat off to Manny, because Manny's still going for the belt. And, you know, some may say he's going the easier route at 147, but at the end of the day, Rolly's still a champion. He beat Ryan Garcia. You know, he's had some good fights, but you know, Manny is still competitive at 47 years old.
Alicia, I'll be real with you. The ring is definitely going to retire him. Man, he's 46 years old. He's gonna have to take something crazy. I mean, I God forbid, but I think like his heart is in the ring. He's that's just who Manny Pacquiao is. Shit.
Manny's a competitor, bro. He's what Tom Brady was to the NFL, what Michael Jordan was to the NBA. He's a competitor. He's the ultimate competitor. Wants to be great. Wants to compete against the best. And I want to know who's the oldest champion to ever win a belt at 147. I mean, I think this would be a record. I don't know if anybody. I've never seen anybody in their 40s win a belt at 147 pounds. I mean, I could be completely wrong, but
listen? Bernard Hopkins is out there at 45, boys are still making records.
Yeah, but he's at 160. I've never seen this at 147.
I'm just saying though, but he was still cute. You know, let's be real. B-House was competing against the young boys.
You know, Manny's like that, man. Manny, I mean, he's been through a lot, from getting knocked out by what's his name? I forgot his name. Barrera, coming back and still being great. Like, it is what it is. My man Ghost says Rolly might put Pac-Man on a blunt and smoke him. Barrios didn't even try, and he's trash. I will say this: Rolly is definitely not going to just sit around and wait. I think Rolly's going to be aggressive. Rolly's going to try to knock him out.
He's going to try that shit on the watch.
You know what? Do you think Rolly's going to be disrespectful at the weigh-in? Do you think Rolly?
Nah, I don't think he wasn't disrespectful about the last fight. I think, like I said, he been cool. Like I said, he been chill. He been chilled. You know what I'm saying? After that pit bullshit, I'm saying his whole demeanor was just different. Like, he was laid back with the when he was fighting against Ryan. He was just letting Ryan and them talk that dumb shit. He was chilling.
Just missed
what he did.
I think that Rolly's hilarious though. You know what I mean?
No, I think he's gonna say some funny shit, but he's not. I don't think he's gonna get disrespectful. He's just gonna say some hilarious Rolly shit.
Yeah. He said, my man Kevin Jackson says Manny and Rolly was memes before. I hope he don't get put to sleep. I don't think Rolly's gonna get put to sleep in this fight. I mean, I don't know. I think Manny, I don't even know, bro. Do you think Manny? I mean, he went with. I mean, where do we hold Barrios at? Where do we put Barrios?
I don't know. My man Mario be having hot and cold days. It was like with him, it's hard for him to be consistent. One fight he'll look good. The next fight is like, what the fuck going on? You know what I mean? So I don't know.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah, Rolly a cool as shit in person. Like me, like I fuck with Rolly, man. Like when I come across him in person, he always he showed love. He don't be on that rah-rah. I fuck with Rolly.
No, I rock with him heavy. He rocks with my guy Joseph Brown.
I rock with him.
Yeah, Barrios the worst champ in all of boxing, man. Jesus, wow.
Damn, all of boxing, the worst.
I mean, can you name worse? I don't know. Kevin Jackson says he fights, he loses, he brawls, he wins. I think he's referring to
Rollies.
Barrios. I think he's talking about Barrios.
Barrios?
Yeah. I don't know. Speaking of that match to another match that might go down, I don't know if it will, but this is something that a lot of people have been asking for. Edgar Berlanga and Caleb Plant have been exchanging barbs recently on a Cigar Talk episode. Caleb Plant came out and said he'd like that fight to happen. We've all been waiting for this fight for the last couple of years, and it looks like Berlanga is saying this may be the one that is next for him. What do you think about Caleb Plant and Edgar Berlanga finally getting it on?
I told you, bro. I told you this shit after they both took losses that they needed to make this fight. And it's not a bad thing. It's just like, with boxing, it's like one of those things where, both guys at a crossroads. They want to get back into a title contention.
Yeah.
Why not? They already got history. They already got bad blood between each other. They got history. So why not? They both need a solid victory. Well, you know what I'm saying? Well, an impressive victory off of coming off their last performances. So why not?
I think it's good for both of them. And I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say why. I feel like Caleb Plant needs a victory. Right? He needs a victory versus a rival. He hasn't necessarily beat his rivals in a sense. This is actually a really big fight. We don't know what's gonna happen. After what he just after his last performance, as well as even Berlanga's performance. He got killed. He got knocked out. Jalil Hackett's in the building. Let me just double check. Jalil is in there. I think he's waiting for his dad. Hold on. Oh, this guy's an asshole calling me. But what was I saying? Edgar's coming off a terrible loss. Let me end this one and bring my man Jalil on real quick. Ready, Jamal?
Yeah, please.
Jalil Hackett, what's good, my brother?
How you doing, man? How you doing?
What's going on, champ?
Where's Pops, man?
Shit, hey. I don't know, man. He told me, he sent me a link, say hop on, so here we are.
You know my co-host Jamel Herring. You know him.
How you doing? How you doing,
What's
Jamel?
Good, bro? Everything's good, bro. Good to see you. Good to see you doing your thing.
Always, man. I appreciate it.
Now, we've been seeing, you've been calling out Puerto Rico's supposed next superstar, Xander Zayas. We've all been seeing that you came out and said you want the fight. They've been trying to find an opponent to go to Puerto Rico. You came out and said you do it in Puerto Rico. Talk to us, my brother. What's up?
I just feel like, it's the best fight to be made right now. Or at least at 154. If we look at the champions, all the champions have fights pending, or the ones that don't have fights pending just simply aren't willing to go to Puerto Rico. And Xander Zayas wants to make his first title defense at home, which he should. Puerto Rican world champion at 22, he should make his first title defense at home. But also, they want him to make it against a worthy opponent. And,
Right.
So far, everybody they've been trying to get it ain't been working out. So it's like, hey, I'm coming off a good, impressive bounce back win.
Nope, I see that against Elijah Vines. I see that.
Yeah, I'm new to 154. And him fighting me, the fans won't look at it as he fighting a scrub or a bum, or somebody who they deem as not worthy. So I just feel like, why not that fight? He had a hell of an opponent that was on the line. They were talking about maybe it could happen with Santillan, but a lot of the fans, including myself, are saying, that guy, last time we seen him in the spotlight, he was on his face against Brian Norman. And then on top of that, he fought Brian Norman at 147. I'm not sure off the top of my head, but I don't even think Santillan has any fights at 154. I just fought at 154 in September, and early on in my career, I had a few fights at 154. So it's not like I'm new to the weight. I'm new to the weight, but it's not super new to me.
Right.
Now, 154, there's a lot of killers at 154. Me and Jamal talk about it. It's our favorite division. We feel like there's so many fights to be made at 154. And I was telling Jamal, I was like, whoever is able to unify in this division, I think will go down as all-time great. Tell us, how do you feel about going up to 154? Why did you choose such a stacked division at this point in your career?
First of all, I feel great about it. If you didn't see my last fight, I feel like my last fight really told the tale of how I felt at 154.
Mm-hmm.
I was at 147 for a while. I turned pro at 147. Damn near all my fights were at 147.
Mm-hmm.
Even when it felt like, it's starting to get tough. Soon as it got super tough to make 47, I signed with Eddie, and Eddie had gave me an opportunity to fight for the WBA Continental Americas title. I beat Pete Dobson by unanimous decision in summer of 2024.
That was your first 10-round fight, right? Correct?
Yes, it was, sir. Yes, it was. I beat him in a 10-rounder. And at first I was saying like, I could beat him, and then I could just let people know like it's hard to make the weight. I'm gonna move up.
Right.
But after beating him, I'm like, shit, I'm a little bit closer to a world title than I was before. So I said I'm gonna just gut it out. Hopefully I can get me a strap. We made our first title defense in Puerto Rico against Jose Ramon Vasquez.
Yep.
Didn't get the win.
Mhm.
And
It was
we
close.
had
It was a close one. It was close.
Very
It was close.
controversial.
Yeah. It was a close fight.
Yeah.
I peeped it.
No, I feel it. I feel it. It was close, but like I said, we didn't get the win.
Mhm.
We had a rematch scheduled for March. We had an injury, um, and after I got injured, I had to talk with my team, and I was like, let's not try and kill ourselves to do this.
Mhm.
The plan was to rematch him, beat him, avenge our only loss, and move up anyway.
Mhm.
But once the injury happened, it's like maybe God's telling us, move up. So that's what we end
You
up
only
doing.
but 22 years old, so you still growing.
Yeah,
You ain't even hit
no,
your prime yet. You know what I'm saying? And that's crazy. You didn't even hit your prime yet. You know what I mean? You still growing.
No,
no,
absolutely.
absolutely.
Let me ask you a question. Puerto Rico. Let's speak. You had a controversial decision. Puerto Rico didn't go your way, right? And now you want to fight. Arguably, the guy that's getting the biggest push. Not arguably, the facts are, he's getting pushed from Felix Trinidad, Bad Bunny. He is basically now being put as the face of Puerto Rico. You're willing to go out there. What will it take for you if he accepts that fight, bro, to win that, to defeat him in Puerto Rico, knowing what you got to go up against?
I gotta like I've been saying, I gotta knock him out. I'm going in there saying that if I don't knock him out, I'm going to lose. It don't matter how good I think I did, or if the fans say, man, we think he won every round. None of that will matter. I have to knock him out. If I don't knock him out, I won't win.
Pops, what's good? Bernard Hackett in the building with Jalil and Jamel. Good, brother.
Hey, what's good, good people? What's good, good people? What up, chat?
Everything's good, sir. How you feeling today?
Hey, I can't complain.
Appreciate
Well,
you.
we were just
Appreciate you
talking.
coming on.
We asked Jalil why would he be willing to go to Puerto Rico, especially against Xander, who is literally being, you know how it is when you're building up a superstar, and Puerto Rico's been missing a superstar for years since Miguel Cotto, and it seems as if he's stacking the odds against himself, willing to go to Puerto Rico, and I appreciate that because you're trying for greatness. I mean, how do you feel about that, Pops? Bernard?
I actually feel great about it. I don't have any intrepidation about going at all. What happened? What happened when we were there last time? No matter how we feel about it, it's done. That spilled milk. You can't put it back in the container.
Mhm.
But what I will say is, when I look at the fights, and I think about what the fighters have, what they bring, all of that type of stuff. I find this to be, and not in a disrespectful way, this would be the easiest fight we've had of his pro career. And the
Really?
reason I'm gonna tell you why I say that. Everybody you talk to, everybody you hear on the internet, everybody at any fight Jalil has had in his pro career, go back to the last one if you don't want to look through all of them. Every commentator say Jalil Hackett has been moved super tough as a young prospect.
Right. I see.
And his last 4 opponents were undefeated. Pete Dobson, who I think is a great fighter, and I respect him, he took the fight against us when we went for the WBA Continental title. Jalil that was his 8th fight. Going into that fight, Pete just came off a 12-round decision loss against Connor Benn. And when I rate situations, I'm gonna say this: I would dare to venture that Pete Dobson can beat half, if not a little over half, of every opponent Xander Zayas has fought. Xander Zayas is a good young fighter with potential to be a great young fighter. He's a champion. But if you think back on the history of boxing, Top Rank has been one of the greatest, if not the greatest company at building people into
I always
what
say that. I
they're really not.
always say that on the show. I always say that. I was a top rank fighter, so I know like they are great at building prospects to contenders and champions. I always give them that credit. So you're right on the money with that one.
Yeah. So when you think about that and you look at the fights, I always go back when I say Xander Zayas fight. I go back to the guy he fought in New York when him and Edgar Berlinga were on the card together. I can't think of the black guy name. I apologize for missing his name. But Xander never gave the impression that a guy who was tailor-made for the New York situation, not to knock him out, not to hurt him. And at some points, the guy was laughing, inviting Xander back in, catching him with some good shots too. When Xander got hit with some good shots, fight or flight, he took the flight route and said, let me just box my way to a win. If you ask me, and this is me just giving a comparison so fans can understand what I'm saying. If they ask me to fight Jamel Herring or fight Xander Zayas, both title shots, I'm going to pick Xander Zayas. And the reason why, Xander has never been in the fire as a pro. Everything has been scripted. Where Jalil has been in the fire as a pro, nothing for him was scripted. So when you just look at whose teeth have been cut the best, it's Jalil. When you ask top level pros that have brought him into camp, none of them have been surprised by what's going on.
Right.
When you look at the fight game, and Jamel knows this fight game, it'll be a young fighter that will call out champions like when Jamel was the champion. And their promoters, their management, everybody know that the guy they calling out is already tied up. Even before the world know, they know he's tied up. So a lot of the call outs that Xander was doing to the Fonduras, to the Ortizes, to the Boots, those call outs came after they knew them guys were already tied up with something else. And when he asked for the WBA champion Abbas, they knew was going to price himself out just so he don't go to Puerto Rico. Now you ask him to go somewhere else, that might happen. But none of them guys is giving away a belt knowing that if it happens to go 12, they may get stuck up. Now, with Jalil, we coming in knowing that we have to knock him out. And when you do the comparisons, Jalil is bigger. Even though he moved to the 54, he's bigger. He's stronger. When you look at the kinetic position of their careers, Xander gets a knockout once every 3 fights. And if you take away the beginning of his career, when you're getting the guys that really are built to make you look good, take that away, Xander gets a knockout once every 5 or 6 fights. Jalil, 9 out of 10 times, is going to put you to sleep. Xander has not been under the type of pressure that Jalil will bring to him, that he doesn't have to see if he's really built for that. Then you all think Puerto Rico is a plus. Puerto Rico is a minus for him.
Really?
Because, and I'm going to tell you why. You got an arena full of fans who came here with the anticipation of going to after parties. Anytime during that fight that Jalil picks that pressure up, because we didn't mince words, we're going to make it a pressure high action fight. Anytime that gets picked up, what happens when he hurts Xander? I'm just going off the averages. On average, Jalil hurts people. On average, Xander wins decisions. What happens when he gets hurt? When he gets hurt, what does he do? Now they trying to build up, keep him high on his horse, just saying, let's make it to 12, champ. Let's make it to 12. Now you venturing in a water where he get hurt. And now they're contemplating, do we stop it on the stool? Do we let him get knocked out? I'm telling you, not me from the father or the coach aspect, just basing it on the averages, Jalil's going to put him on his face. We wouldn't put Jamel on his face because Jamel been through the wars. We have to think about how you do the attrition of a fight. Do we take the attrition against a guy who's been 12 multiple times and say we're going to take the risk of running him hot when he's already been in those type of wars? Or do you take the attrition on somebody who hasn't been in those situations and run him hot? What happens when he checks? We've given you more top grade fights against top grade guys in 10 rounds than he has. His last fight that he won his title in, Jamel will tell you, he stumbled to a title. He didn't slam his way into a title. He stumbled into a title. He was looking bad. He was getting hit by another guy who's not a big puncher. What happens when he has to bring the dog against his generation? Jamel went against his generation. He'll tell you, fights against your generation, meaning you know them from the amateurs, are different than against older veterans.
Jalil, if your father had a lot to say in that situation, do you agree? Do you feel like Xander is I don't want to misquote you, the easiest situation, the easiest victory or leading to victory that Jalil has ever faced?
No, I don't think he said easy, but like basically what I got from he hasn't been tested. He hasn't been tested.
Yeah, I don't think he meant easy. I think he meant, and we can agree on this. If I'm saying what he's thinking, also, I think he meant it as in, he hasn't been in there with stiff competition as me. So with the competition, with the competition being stiffer, he's gonna have a harder time. It's like when you so used to one thing going one way, when that slight switch up in your schedule could really throw you off. Whereas me, my past couple fights, all of them have been like tough fights. Mm-hmm. So it's like, I'm more used to like, tougher nights. I'm bringing the hard hat and the lunch pail compared to him. He come to work, suit and tie. He don't plan on getting dirty.
And it's kind of weird because Puerto Rican fighters or Puerto Rican fans love your type of fight, aggressive, going for the knockout. Xander kind of goes completely opposite of that. He doesn't really knock his opponents out in that type of fashion that I'm Puerto Rican, that my grandparents.
Some say he plays it safe. I think he played the last fight a little safe. I think, you know what I mean. It was he did what he had to do to win, but it wasn't nothing like that was memorable. But he did what he had to do to win.
And that's what you're supposed to do as a well, now he's a champion, but right. I feel like when you're trying to go get a belt, you gotta go take it. Like, people ask me what's my thoughts were on the controversial Lamont Roach and Gervonta Davis fight. I tell people, in order to beat a man, you gotta beat the man. And when I say beat him, like, you have to convincingly, without a doubt, dominate him. Like, we think about the Terrence Crawford and Canelo fight. None of us, I'm sure, on this pod, and nobody in the comment section ever questioned if Crawford beat Canelo after watching that fight. You knew in your mind without reasonable doubt he beat him. Because with a guy like Canelo and a guy like Tank, they're the faces of boxing. So you have to really dominate them. If not, you're not gonna get the nod.
I'm gonna ask you a question though. Let me ask. So, has it been? I know y'all been speaking on it, but has it been any like talks in terms of making the fight at least, or entertaining it with y'all promoters and management?
I usually do the business side. My son always turns that to me. There hasn't been anything directly from them, but we have a lot of people who are good in this sport and who are knowledgeable. And they told us that you all are on a short list of people that they're selecting from, and that to me is a major step in the right direction. Considering when we first said it, this ain't the fight. But then when we started getting feedback, and they were like, "Hey, bro, y'all pushing yourself into that fight." We don't. Number one, I'd say I didn't start, and my son didn't start with disrespecting that. Right. We said, like we say then and like we say now, Xander and Jalil would be, for this generation and time period, based on where they are in their age, they would be the Ray Leonard, Tommy Hearns one of this generation. If you want to look at the division and the landscape overall, Jalil is the only person Xander can fight from the top ranked school of boxing that they can guarantee a rematch against. They can't guarantee that against Fundora. They can't guarantee that against the WBA champ. They can't guarantee that against Muatayev. They can't guarantee any of that against the current champions. and I always try to be logical in my thought pattern. If you put Jalil or Xander up against Fundora, Boots, Keith Thurman at this point in time, he's a top level guy. If you Virgil Ortiz, any of those guys, you put them up against them, they're gonna be the underdog just based off experience and age. They're gonna be the underdog. This is the only 50-50 fight that fans want to see. When you think about Fundora versus Keith Thurman, and I always say it like this because a lot of people aren't gamblers. That's a 70-30 fight. 70% of 100 people are going to go with Fundora. If you go with Boots versus Lima, 97-3. That means 97% of people are going to go for Boots and 3% Fundora. If you go to Erickson Lubin or Ortiz,
you meant Lima.
My bad. Yeah, my bad. If you look at Ortiz versus Hammer, that's a fight that's going to be 70-30. All of those fights, if the underdog wins, they will be considered upsets because they're predetermined fights. That's not me saying it. That's the odds maker saying it. If you look at Jalil and Xander, that's the only fight you can get that by the time you get to the window on fight night, it's a 50-50 fight. When you look at that, what do fans of boxing scream about? We don't get the fights we want. We don't get them when we want them. Right. Now, when they got a fight they can get in the conception age where this could be a rivalry for many years. This generation right here that's going out the door. When I say that generation, like the Charlos, the Spence, those guys are the 35 and above, something like that. Those guys, when you look at this generation, they'll be the first generation that had more big fights missed than big fights made. I think this next generation, they want to fight. Like I said, I don't think Xander would turn the fight down if it was put on paper as an offer. I think his team is saying, hey, this is not the type of fight that you need to come home with because there is a great possibility you get knocked out.
You made a good point. I like those shit. You got me wanting to see the fight now. I ain't gonna lie to you. I want to see the fight happen, yo.
Man, Jalil, your pops, he's talking it up. I mean, how do you feel about it? Your father's comments in that regard.
I feel like he's spot on. We both young. We both 22. Right. It's one of them fights where, like, if it happens now, we're at the age where it can happen twice. It can happen 3 times.
Yeah, your father made a great point. Tommy Hearns and Leonard, they was both 20 years old. Wasn't they like 20 years old at the time when they fought the first time?
I just think about it like that, where like you can get 3 good fights, whereas, we see sometimes we see guys fight each other and then they fight each other again when they're in their 30s or their late 20s, where they're still at peak performance age, but it's like, I feel like they kind of make business decisions in the second fight to where, like, oh, we're fighting for money. We're not fighting for just like, I want to beat you. I feel like me and Xander, if we fight that first fight and I beat him, he's going to want to get that back. And I'm going to be the first to say, you can get it back. And God forbid we fight again and he beats me, I'm going to want it back. And I'm sure he's the type fighter to where, like, if the first 2 fights was good, he want to break the tie. So it's like that's what it's all about. I
think anybody in terms of this, like I said, y'all know just from the business aspect, if the first 2 fights are good, the people are going to, the promoters and the people are going to definitely want to go see it again.
Yeah, and that's what it's all about. That's what I feel like. Any fighter, realistically, all the guys that's, I can say 25 and under, that's what they on. They trying to fight. People want it to financially make sense. It's prize fighting. But as long as the number is close to what we want, niggas will fight. We'll make that up in other ways, endorsements, stuff like that. But as long as the number is semi close to what we want, see how I said semi. Semi-close, not even, it don't even have to be right there. Just semi-close to what niggas want. Then it's like, shit, make this shit happen.
Now, I love the attitude first and foremost because I feel like a lot of fighters have followed the model, or I don't want to critique Floyd Mayweather or not, but take the safest risk, right, and get for the biggest bag. And the fact that you want to fight the best, especially in a division that to me is
I respect him. He want to fight a man home. He don't care where it's at.
crazy.
Yeah, it's
He
like,
don't care where it's at. That's why he don't care.
and then it's like, I just tell people, I just say, let's take a deeper dive. We know my last experience in Puerto Rico wasn't a good experience. In my mind, I'm like, shit, they think they got one up on me, not just him and his team, but the country as a whole. They think they got one up on me.
I ain't gonna lie. That's what I was thinking about too. I said that's probably one way they're gonna probably take the fight. Oh,
Yeah,
he got a blemish on the record. Oh, he already lost in Puerto Rico. That's how they gonna look at it.
So it's like, shit. If anything, if I'm Xander team, it's like that's a good win over a quality guy. It's damn near penciled in. All you gotta do is take the fight.
Yeah, but I mean, you guys are a big risk. You got power, especially, and this is my opinion. Going to Puerto Rico, but going to Puerto Rico in his hometown, the expectation levels are going to be raised for Xander as well. He wants, in my opinion, to showcase that he is a superstar. Can he showcase himself being a superstar against somebody like you? Is the question.
I think if he believe it, he can achieve it. But step one of believing it is making it happen.
But this is what you expect, though, Norv, is what you expect. When you get that belt, you gotta everybody come at you.
When you don't got the strap, you hunting. Like right now, I'm hunting. Like I'm fishing for something. Anything with a strap, I'm on it. But like once you get the strap, which he does, you go from hunting to now they hunting you. I ain't the only person that been saying his name. It's other people that saying his name, other people that are gonna say his name. So it's up to him to either A, step up to the plate and fight the fights, or B, take the safe route. Keep taking, in football terms, keep taking them check downs. And hope he make it down the field. But those guys that get the big bucks and everybody love them, they gonna pump fake that check down and they gonna throw that bitch 50 yards.
Mm-hmm. Chevy says Puerto Rico would be shameless if Jalil came and beat Xander. He would not over them.
But that'd be a hard loss at your homecoming, and you take a big L.
Bro, I can't overemphasize the push they're giving with Xander. Yes, you say Top Rank is doing a great job, which they have been, but even guys like Felix Trinidad getting behind him. He just signed a big deal with Bad Bunny, who's just got announced to be doing the Super Bowl, and is the biggest artist in the world right now. You guys taking out Xander Zayas would put you on a whole nother level, and I respect the strategy from Pops. And son, I love it.
He really broke that. He broke that shit down to a T. But he ain't lying though. He ain't lying. Like they're both in the same age. This is their generation right now. I mean, why not? We don't want to. Nobody wants to see you fight somebody that's washed up or about on their way out the door.
Yeah, like you know what I'm saying? I don't know about y'all, but I gamble, and it's like those fights that's minus 100, plus 100. Those the odds that are relatively close. Those are usually the best fights. Like I just think about Bud and Canelo's fight. That was a great fight, and their odds were actually weird as fuck. Bud was like plus 200, but that's relatively close to an even fight. The fights, like I said, the fights with closer odds are usually the better fights. When we get good world title fights, those are fights with closer odds. Even recently with at 147 with Patty Donovan and Lewis Crocker, that was a good fight. They fought twice. The first fight was a controversial DQ, and then the rematch, we got this situation that they had, but that was a good fight. That was a fight that honestly going into it.
I like that. I like that attitude you got though, because I'm tired of seeing. I ain't gonna lie. We're all tired of seeing young fighters want to constantly marinate something, because I don't like that, because they'll try to marinate something, as y'all know, and then the fight they're trying to build, the dude gets knocked off. I mean, look for instance, like when Devin's supposed to fight Ryan in a rematch, Luke came in and ruined the party. Rollies came in and ruined the party. Nobody don't want to see from nobody.
Nobody wants to see that anymore.
Exactly.
God forbid he makes his homecoming against somebody else and not me, and he loses. Now everybody's gonna be like, "Well, fight Xander now." Fight. I'm not gonna be saying his name when he loses because I want to fight him because he had the belt.
You want.
He's the man. I'm gonna want to fight who beat him. That's. We just trying to fight. That's all. I said it in the. I said it in the interview. I didn't mean cut you off, but I said it in the interview. I say it often. I'm more of a straightforward guy. I don't really talk too much, but when I talk, it means something. I ain't trying to.
You ain't come on respectful. You got that passion in your heart. You just want to fight the best out there. I respect that.
Absolutely.
I respect that. I respect that because a lot of people. The fight don't make sense right now.
Fuck that. I'm not a beat around the bush guy. I don't want to look up, be 30. You got guys 30, 40-0, and you can't name nobody they fought. And then when they fight somebody, they get fucked up. And then the promoter be like, "Oh shit, how did he get fucked up like this?" And then it's like, newsflash, bucko, he ain't fought no fucking body. So when he get in there with a real fighter, he get his ass whooped because it's a shocker. Even if the nigga can fight, he been so long.
He only good at the talent you compete against.
That's why he didn't trick his brain into everybody's a walk in the park.
And it's crazy because the division you're in, 154 pounds, there is no real easy route to go if you really think about it.
No. Every champion is nice.
Yeah.
Xander, nice. Fundora, nice.
Mm-hmm.
Brody with the IBF. I don't want to butcher his name. Mortayev, nice. What's the name? Abbas, nice. It's not an easy route. There's no easy route.
I love that division right now. I ain't gonna lie, like I said, that's one of my favorite divisions right now because it's so many. It's not even just the champions. There's a lot of good contenders, and then you're part of that. You're part of that. That fold down too. So it's a lot to go. It's a lot of good fights to be made out there. And I'm excited to see.
Yeah, and it's like I just look at it like this. If I'm Xander's team, this is how I would look if I was his team.
Mm-hmm.
All the niggas that's at 154 right now, you got one that's calling you out with only 10 fights. Well, 11 fights, 10-1. 11 fights, he's calling you out. People like the fight. I'm taking that fight because your alternatives are Boots, because Boots is going to smoke Lima. Let's just be real. He's going to smoke Lima, and the first thing he's going to say after the fight, he's going to say, "I won a world champion."
Yep.
Then we have Virgil. We have Hammer. We have all the other champions. Mortayev, Abbas, and Fundora. Those three, they're gonna say, "Shit, we're trying to unify." They're gonna try and find who to unify with, and they're gonna consider him low-hanging fruit because he's a young champion.
Right.
So it's like right now, if you're looking for a situation that's really perfect, survive 12 rounds, get you a win at home, and then either A, you cash out against a champion and hope you win, or B, they gonna keep throwing you in easy fights, and the fans gonna talk shit about you. And after a while, they're not gonna want to see you fight.
Yeah.
Man, if you look at this and I ask fans and I haven't got an answer or they tell me you right, outside of the guys that's tied up for fights, please tell me who of quality other than Jalil can Xander really fight? And on top of that, if Xander and Jalil fight, they put the division on pause.
No, listen, I'm with you, Bernard, and it's crazy because I feel like you said Top Rank does a great job of making stars. I've been very critical, and I am Puerto Rican, of Xander Zayas, and I believe out of all the champions that are at 154 pounds, that he's the least dangerous, in my opinion. I don't think he has the power. I don't think he's as good, but I think what people want to see in him, I don't know if he can deliver. So I have a lot of question marks for him. I believe even the guys without belts are better than him. naming Boots and Virgil. So I'm definitely with you. And again, I want to see if they are willing to put him against a tough opponent like Jalil in Puerto Rico and not give him an easy win. I mean,
Well, the Puerto Rican people, let me say this about the Puerto Rican people.
Yep.
The Puerto Rican people are some of the proudest, some of the most passionate, some of the most knowledgeable people when it comes to boxing.
Yep.
2 days before they put out potential Zayas versus Santillan, I was on BVO podcast and I told BVO what they gonna try and do is they gonna try and bring up a 147, get them ranked real quick, and then sell the public on this is a good fight. And then I named the guy. I said they're gonna do it with Santillan. Not even 20 hours later, they did it. And the Puerto Rican people, after hearing what I said, they said, "You're not selling us that. You're not giving us that." And that same post was took down same day that they put it up hours later.
Mm.
That's how knowledgeable the Puerto Rican people are about. Let me tell you this: Puerto Rican people, they got blessed to have Kodo. They got blessed to have Trinidad. Do you understand? If we was in the same predicament with Trinidad or Kodo, they would have called the promoter and said, "He willing to come here? Bring him here now." It wouldn't even been an opportunity for them to say, "Oh, nah, we waiting for the promoter." Do you really think if we would have said this about Felix Trinidad or to Trinidad, he wouldn't have even not responded in any way? You got to be crazy. Because they come from the heart of the Puerto Rico. You got to think about it. Those are born and bred Puerto Rican fighters.
Oh yeah, I was North Puerto Rico very proud with their champions.
He in a situation.
Thank you.
He in a situation, honestly, and I'm speaking from experience. He's at a point where, he can't say anything without the approval of his team, and in his heart, maybe he's seeing all of this, and he's like, "Man, I'll fight him tomorrow."
Not true. Jalil, that was true the day before he won that world title. When he won that world title, and we got Jamel here, champions have a lot of say in potential fights when they're a voluntary defense.
Yeah.
If this was a mandatory, come on, I do the business of it.
I was just gonna say to you too, and come looking at the rankings. I'm like, Coach, that's where you gotta go. You gotta go to my man Gustavo at the WBO, and you gotta make that. Hey, we wanna represent WBO. We need to get that ranking because that's what I had to do. Because I put the favor the same belt at 130. I had to do the same thing. I had to go be like, hey, I'm not officially ranked, but I want to represent you guys. I need They put me at number 11 in the rankings, and I took full advantage of that when I fought Ito for that title, and I never looked back. And then, like you said, when I won the title, right there on the spot, I was like, listen, I want to fight. I want to unify. I want to get Britt Chelt in the ring. I want to fight. I want to unify. I try to fight Oscar, but like you're right though. Like once you get the belt, you got some say and some pull. Your team can advise you and give you an idea what to do, but at the same time, you got there publicly and be like, listen, publicly, and everything's on social media now and get to be like, listen, I want this guy. You're gonna get the fans involved. They're gonna want you know what? Because it's the fans first. So when you get the fans behind to push it, and then like you get an island behind you, the island's gonna want it too. Especially be like, listen, I want to fight this guy at home in Puerto Rico. They'll get behind it, and then that's when the machine behind you makes the plans to actually, make it fulfill that, that option. But yeah, like I say, if you got a damn voluntary defense, you can pretty much pick anybody to litter. Because when I won my title, I was at number 11. I came up it was a voluntary defense to fight me, and I ruined all the plans. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm telling you, like I said, my son, me and him work great together. I coach and I focus on the business. He focused on the fighters. When that business, I know when people have said stuff about the business, I've educated them on the business. Whether it was a good fight for Xander, whether it was a good fight for us, the business dictates right now that given the landscape, given the other fighters are all tied up, Xander and Jalil is the only quality fight that they can take to that island. Now, if he want to fight his first defense in New York, New York will accept that. The Puerto Rican fan base in New York, they will accept a subpar fight. But if you think you going to that island and give them people a subpar fighter, them people they eat you alive. If he did a subpar guy, we would go to that fight. We would damn near become beloved in Puerto Rico. That is not what they want to happen. They have a subpar guy, and we go to that fight sitting in the front row, and we're saying we should have been in there, and he gets a first round knockout over a subpar guy. Puerto Rican people have his head. They'll have his head because they come in all situations where they're used to a Miguel Cotto. If you remember a young Miguel Cotto for Margarito, he didn't have to do that, but he did. Trinidad, who took everybody who said, fight me. He put the country on his back. Those are the type of superhero. You can sell a superhero to a lot of publics that's made up, but you cannot sell a made up superhero to Puerto Rico and Mexico. They require you. They require you to be a man. If you look at Jalil fighting Xander, let's say Xander did for some reason lose, but he was the one in the media saying, hey, I want this fight. I want my people to respect me. They would respect him more in a loss than they would in a cherry pick win because they are people who know the game of boxing. They have a long history with the game of boxing. That's why I always shout out to Puerto Rico people, because the people of Puerto Rico, they've been pushing back. They've been on, when Xander posted the thing about the horses, I read the comments that people leave. They were saying, Xander, what's the issue with Jalil Hackett? That's what they're asking him now, because once again, they know the game. They know that this is a voluntary defense. You have the ability to choose the person that you want to fight. Please tell us, if everybody else is tied up, why we're not getting Jalil Hackett and Xander Zayas.
We can go. I mean, shit. I want to see the fight now. I'm like,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean,
that's what I'm saying. Go to the WBO and enforce them. Hey, we deserve to be put in the rankings, and they'd gladly do it. They'll gladly do it.
And let me make another thing. And Jamel, I love having Champ on here because like Champ can speak to things from the other side of the fence. Mm-hmm. And when you talk about world championship fights, Jamel has been in them, and Jamel also knows fighters that he's been in camp with that have been in. Jalil and Xander right now will only cost Bob $2 million. 1.5 for Xander, 500,000 for Jalil. 1.75 for Xander, 250 for Jalil. When you talk about the average champion now from 126 pounds on up, when they're the champion, they're asking for $2 million they damn self, not including the opponent, whether it's voluntary defense or mandatory. So this is actually the absolute best fight at 54, the only 50-50 fight at 54, and the only financially lucrative fight for the promoter at 154. Jalil and Xander fight, they didn't spend but $2 million the first time. Jalil and Xander fight the second time, they spent $3 million, $3.5 million, because Jalil is just gonna clear $1 million. Xander's still the A side, he would clear close to $2 million. And if they had to fight 3 times, they just got to the point where they spending $5 million. Where if you go to Fundora versus Boots, Fundora versus Ortiz, Fundora versus Muatayev, that number starts combined at $6 million. Just the business of boxing saying this is the best fight that they can make with a guaranteed rematch if they lose. The other ones have no guaranteed rematch.
Jamal, what you think?
No, he broke it down. He did call it. The numbers is accurate. The numbers is accurate, especially with the pot. He was right. He right, because like I said, if the other guys, they're going like I said, they already pricing themselves out. They're going to want major money. this and then the third. But that's a like I said, if you can't be mad at that if he's willing to take obviously the lesser pot as respectfully as a contender. You know what I mean? So like
I feel like as the challenger, especially at my point of my career, you can't be mad at them when they
and what I learned too though, honestly, I was always told from my career, like just from my career alone, that the money's in the fights, meaning that you win, your value always goes up anyway. You know what I mean? You take the belt, your value is gonna go up. You defend the title, your value is gonna go up. Like I said,
I feel like when guys throw crazy numbers or you outkick your cover, so to speak, I feel like that's a slight tale of like unsureness or slight maybe even fear, because it's like, shit, why are you throwing this dumbass number at them? What, do you not want to fight? If we're in a situation where they say, all right, Jalil, we're not gonna do, let's say they say we're not gonna do the split like he said, where Xander, if we're doing $1 million and Xander gets 750 and I get 250 or something like that. If they say we don't want to do that, we want to do 850 Xander, 150 Jalil, that's a situation where I say I will only accept the fight if when I beat him, we immediately fight again, and when we fight again, the split drastically changes.
they're gonna have to.
That's how bad I would want that fight.
They're gonna have to. That's it.
That's how bad I would want that fight.
And that's how bad he may want it. But when we think about was that not Xander, when we think about Devin Haney having to go to Cambosis twice, Cambosis took the Lion money twice.
Mhm.
He took the Lion money twice because he was the champ the first time, and then in a rematch, he was already going to get the rematch regardless. It was the money that came after that you get paid on. That's why I said if Jalil and Xander fought 3 times, that means we beat him. We had to beat him once, and then he beat us once. Then we go back. That's $2 million. Split the pot. How they advantage Xander. $3 million. Split the pot. Advantage Xander. It's the third fight that you get your paycheck.
And another thing
I'm not gonna lie, because I know Top Rank. Say you go out there and beat him the first time, and depending on how you look beating him, he might be like, "Nah, we gotta take him and move elsewhere." But they'll give you options. You know what I'm saying? Because you know what I'm saying. You took the belt. So don't be surprised if this scenario where they put options on you. And they'll build you to fight elsewhere, some other else, because I'm telling you, if you go out there and dominate in the first fight, I guarantee right now, his handlers and they're not gonna want that. They're not gonna want that smoke the second time around. I'm telling you,
he gonna move to 160. He gonna move to 160.
Something because, like I said, it's too deep. It's too deep as it is in the division to try to go around for another belt. You know what I'm saying? It's like, boxing is more mental than physical, as we all know. Mentally, you could be, if you depending on how you look and come out defeated, you might be messed up to be like, no, I can't go this route like this.
Yeah, that's very accurate. Some people don't look the same after a loss. Some people don't bounce back mentally after a loss. And God forbid it's a tough loss.
Exactly. Ain't gonna be no part 2 and 3 if you go out there and give them a tough beating. I'm like, oh no, we can't. Nah, they're gonna look at you like, okay, Jalil the truth. So we gotta now the business side like, okay, we want to move him, so let's get options on him in his next 2-3 fights.
Yeah, and then at that point it's like, shit. Now I'm in the same position he in. I'm like,
now
shit.
Now you in the boat.
Y'all throw the guys. I'm saying yes to damn near everybody. But once my team, they figure out what's what. And when they pick the guy out, I'm gonna make sure I go out there and dominate.
Yeah, then you're in the driver's seat now. Where okay, I want to unify, or I want to maybe a homecoming voluntary defense in the DMV, whatever. Yeah. That's how it's gonna go. I'm telling you, you go out there and beat them, and you beat them like one-sidedly. You cancel that. Cancel that in part 2. It's gonna be, hey, Jalil, we want to move Jalil now. We need the truth.
Jamel, I'm telling you right now. Him and my son fight, you're going to get a good 5-6 rounds. But by round 9, he putting him flat on his face or he going to quit on the stool. I'm telling you, he will either go flat on his face in round 9 or he will quit on the stool. And I say that the stool part because his team know is so much vested in him, they would stop it before he get a chance to quit. They
Man,
would
if
stop.
they stop that fight in Puerto Rico, it's gonna be a riot. Tell you that right.
Hey, let me tell you, they're not gonna riot. Let me tell you why they're not gonna riot. Because they're gonna see him so beat up that they're gonna be like, if it go any further, it's gonna be the end of a career. They can bring you back. Let me tell you, the Puerto Rican people wish they would have stopped the first Margarito Cotto fight. They wish they would have stopped it. So the beating was getting bad. They wish they would have stopped it. That wouldn't have hurt Cotto. Cotto showed he was a lion. So that wouldn't have hurt his stock in Puerto Rico, none. But Xander and this generation right here, let me tell you this, Norbs and Jamel, it's a reason that you never heard one prospect of Jalil's generation call him out. Because they all understand he hurts shit. Whether they sparred him, whether they remember from the amateurs, whatever the situation is, ask yourself why they never called him out. Ask yourself, BVO, go to his old podcast, and he said he was on one particular young fighter. Man, y'all don't want that smoke. We was on this show with him. We said, bruh, if they bring that smoke, we'll take it now and put the onus on them. He got a call from that boy team saying, do not put my son's name in the same conversation with Jalil Hackett because they know he is a different type of animal. We not picking on Xander. Xander's a great fighter. Jalil's just a different level. When I say level, Jalil should have been fighting in the 80s. He should have been fighting in the 80s. His mentality, what he wants to do. Jalil tell me that if we beat Xander and we don't get the rematch, hey, I want to fight a boss in the unification. Let's see if we can get some milk off this. He said, I don't want no milk. I want to get him immediately. Why would I wait? He feels that if he wins the belt, then he's still the hunter. These dudes win the belt and run.
On top of that, if you don't take a fight like that, and it's still a training week. I got to be up in the morning, so I might got to catch y'all. But I feel like if you're a champion and you don't immediately think either A, I'm going to fight a champion, or B, if I can't fight a champion, let me knock one of these mandatories off so I can go look to fight a champion. I feel like, what the fuck is you doing? What are you doing? I feel like the only pass I would give a champion on not fighting another champion at their weight is if a champion at a smaller weight, the champion at the weight below you, moves up and he has one of the belts that you have. That makes it where the fight is more enticing if the fans like it. Like, for example, Bud goes up to 75 in a crazy scenario.
Don't use Bud, use yourself, Lil. Don't use Bud. Give a real example. Give a real example of what happened that we know personally.
Let's say I have a WBA title at 147 and I move up to 154. Instead of a boss fighting another champion at 154, it wouldn't be bad for him to fight me instead.
Man, let me give him real. Come on, man. You sugarcoating it because that's your man.
Give me the real.
We gonna talk real. If Jalil beats Xander Zayas, Brian Norman want to move up. Me and him, look, me and Jalil, me and Brian Norman, father, it's a clear understood, and that's my man. That if they wanted to come up to 54, we gonna fight.
He beats Devin Haney and moves up. He's automatic mandatory enemy. You take the belt from Zayas.
Yeah.
That's a perfect. It's gonna go down regardless.
Thank you. He'll call me on the phone. He'll call me on the phone like we talk all the time. He'll say, "Hey, bro, let's make this happen." We say, "Bet."
Yeah, that's a no-brainer.
That's real.
We just trying.
That's
to
real.
Where we fighting at?
When Brian Norman won the belt, his father said, "Y'all get in position. We'll fight you now." And this was us talking on the phone because we say the same thing. We came in this game to make our sons the best guys, to put them in the best financial situation. This is not a forever game. My son might say, I don't want to do this at 32. Fighters are leaving the game younger if they can get that bag. So I'm not trying to hear all that. If Bud do this, nah, you got us on the line. I don't want to talk about another girl. I want to talk about the girl we know. Jalil right here will fight Xander if they want to do it. And we know it's dudes like Brian Norman that we friends with that they'd be like, brother, let's get this bag together. We ain't got to use no fictitious people. We talking about real people.
Yeah, yeah. You ain't gotta. Yeah, no, that's spot on. Like I said, like I've been saying, like I've said my whole career. A lot of people say I don't talk a lot because I don't talk. Ain't really nothing to talk about. We're not in the debating business. We're in the fighting business. If I wanted to talk all day, I would have became a politician or some shit. I'm in the business of fighting. I train, to prepare myself to fight. Then I fight. Then I disappear until it's time to fight again. It's everybody got mixed emotions on that, but that's just how it is for me. That's how it is for a lot of fighters, really. So it's like, if we're gonna fight, we need to fight, and if we're not gonna fight, I'm gonna just keep fighting other people until I get my opportunity, and when I get my opportunity, I won't squander it. I appreciate y'all for keep spreading light on that fight. Keep talking about real boxing. Y'all don't got no favorites, no nothing. Y'all just keep it real. So I appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all for having me. Jamel, been a huge fan of you since I was coming up in the amateurs. I remember you used to come to DC and train. Yeah. Shit don't stop. People do.
That's what I'm saying. I know. Like I said, I'm familiar with the whole. I fuck with the DMV heavy. That's what. Shout out to everybody out there.
No, for sure.
Even with me and Lamont, but me and Lamont was cool. But we had same thing you said with you and bro. We had to get it on. He was my mandatory.
Yeah, so it's
it was just business. It was just business. You know what I mean?
You got shit to get off the pot. I tell people I've never, and I know this for a fact. I've never hated anybody that I fought. Even the build up with me and Pete, us talking shit back and forth is a part of the game.
Right.
It's part of the game. I talk to Pete damn near once or twice a week now. I know for sure I could go up to
Trust
New
me,
York.
listen, man. Me and Shakur always talking on the side. That's
I could go up to New York.
That's my guy.
I could go up to New York tomorrow and get some sparring from him, or I need something. Right. He got me. Same way, if he called me, he needs some work, getting ready for a fight. I got him. He needs something. I got him. Because at the end of the day, bro, when you get to a certain level of boxing, where like the stakes are high, yeah, you competing because it's your job, but it's really more so a brotherhood. Dudes work their whole life to get to that level, so it's like I don't hate you. I know that we competing to be the best, and this is how we feed our families. We the professionals. This is what we do for a living. So it's like it don't be no hard feelings. We just at the end of the day, I just want to make the fights happen, and all that rapping shit. Don't nobody got time for that. We gonna fight or we not gonna fight. All the beating around the bush, talking for 20 years, like this shit right here. I don't even do like
I don't really
the overly rapping. Like I hop on the podcast when the fight is signed and we're talking about promoting the fight. That's when I hop on. But right now, I'm hibernating. I'm supposed to be in hibernation. This is out of body for me. I'm supposed to be in hibernation.
We appreciate you though, brother. We appreciate you.
Hey, and I appreciate y'all for pushing the fight. That's why I feel like I had to go out of my way to make sure I came on here and show my love.
We're gonna help an to push it. Just believe
me.
Yeah,
y'all definitely
gonna cut it up.
Y'all been pushing. I've been seeing it, and God willing.
Your father been pushing. I've been seeing it. I'm like, we gotta get it.
Hey, bro, I ain't gonna take the cake from my man. Hey, my nemesis in boxing when it comes to pushing fights, Bill Haney. I saw Bill Haney. After my son fight in the hotel lobby. Brandon, I said, oh, fake ass pimp. Bill said, man, you shit talker. He told me some real true game. He gave me some free game. He said, bro, you have a son that's like my son. They don't really say shit. This is the game where your oil got to squeak on your wheel every single day. He was like, you can't say they don't want to fight me. Fuck it, because that's what they want you to say. He said, he told me, I'm gonna give you some game. Look on the analytics right now and see if Xander Zayas versus Jalil Hackett is a thought. Looked on there, it wasn't a thought. He said, it's your job to make it a thought. Every day, check the analytics. You'll see if it's picking up steam. Don't let a person tell you. Analytics is based on the internet. The internet is based on the people and algorithms. He said, when you see it picking up, you bite down. He said, your son might not be a talker. Devin ain't a talker. He said, but if they don't talk for themselves and they fight, then you got to talk for them. And that's what I'm doing every day. My son is not the talker. I know that. But it's my job to keep pushing it. And now the algorithms are saying, this is that fight. This is the one the fans want to see. I treat the fans with the level of respect of knowledge. And the ones that say something that's unknowledgeable, I'll tell them why it makes sense. And each one of them have said, damn, that makes sense. If you're a Xander Zayas fan, you want him to fight Jalil because he gets a chance to get his belt back. That's just pure logic.
Shit, on that note, I know Jalil said he got to train.
Yeah, you got to train. I appreciate you. Yeah, you don't
appreciate you.
Close
Yeah, I
out
was
with
about to say
that.
he was in a hell of a long-winded monologue. You know, we pick up enough.
We closing out with that.
We pick up enough. We pick up enough steam. You know,
Sure.
we get our names out there to the point where shit, he could take over for Morgan Freeman or some shit. You know.
Oh yeah, but hold on, Chet. Before you go though, you gotta tell them though too. I know you gotta tell them where can they find you at? Where
y'all can find me.
I
was about to say y'all can find me on all social medias at Jalil Hackett, Instagram Jalil Hackett. Well, Instagram Jalil_Hackett. Twitter and Facebook are both Jalil Hackett, and YouTube is Jalil Major Hackett.
My guy, appreciate you, Jalil.
Nah, I appreciate you guys for having me.
Hold on, bro. Nah, we'll talk more.
Hopefully,
like I said, hopefully you get the fight. We'll talk about what's next, and when you get the fight,
absolutely, absolutely.
But all right, Jalil, salute, brother.
All right, y'all have a good one
out there, Jalil.
Bernard, I appreciate you too. I was a good ass interview. I ain't gonna lie. Bernard, I love Bernard, man. He really go hard for his son, bro. And I really want to see that fight now. I really want to see Xander Zayas and Jalil Hackett. Shit, I'm about to edit the shit out of this shit right now. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. But on that note, we on tomorrow morning. We got a couple things to cover. So we can do something tomorrow. Like
what we're covering tomorrow?
Huh?
What we're covering tomorrow?
Shit, we got that Conor McGregor shit out with Mike Perry. You know, we can talk about some shit.
I'll both the fight. I was supposed to fight this weekend.
Yeah, nigga, I was trying to book my damn flight, but I wanted to meet Conor McGregor. You was gonna introduce me. I was gonna be like, you can't even read. I gotta meet Conor, bro. You gotta introduce me to him.
It's all good.
But on that note, we are out of here.
Hold on, let me go back. Go back what my man L said though, man. I think it was a little the about the purse bid. That I think the only thing that will drop that money is if the W wants a fight, but Top Rank doesn't want to promote the fight. If the fight goes to purse bid, that's the thing about it. The fight won't go to purse bid since he's not the mandatory. You know what I mean? So
really? That's
purse bid only works for when it's a a mandatory situation where both fighters have to basically come to the table and negotiate because they have to fight. But if you're a voluntary defense, you basically, you basically give what you want to give to the opponent. You know what I mean? But if you're the mandatory, then you have both. You know what I'm saying? The number one and the champion, y'all gotta come to some type of agreement. Or if y'all don't come to an agreement in a certain time, then that's when the purse bid whole thing comes into play. I just want to put that out there.
All right, appreciate you, Jamel. Tomorrow, 10 a.m. Just let me know. If not, we can do something tonight. Let the shit build. But everybody, thank you for tuning in. We out of here. Appreciate you, brother.